Oh, hello guys. Nintendo has many franchises, but here's the problem. Nintendo makes too many Mario games. Even though I apologize in advance for ripping on Mario so many times in this video, but seriously, 5 Mario games a year? Really? Let's look at all the games coming out on the Switch this year. 3 of them have to be Mario, but Nintendo has so many other franchises they have coming out. Let's look at how many Mario games are coming out this year. We have Yoshi's Crafted World, which Yoshi is a Mario character. And don't tell me he is. Don't tell me that Yoshi has his own series, because Yoshi is a Mario, which was literally a Mario character, which makes Yoshi a Mario. Yoshi's Woolly World a Mario game. It's related to Mario. Mario Maker 2, Mario Bros. Deluxe. Yes, and Luigi's Mansion 3 are all Mario games as well. So there's already 4 Mario games this year. Oh wait, we're gonna stop complaining about Mario and get on to the actual video itself. There's lots of franchises Nintendo could bring for the Switch that could sell lots of copies. Of course, selling the most amount of copies is basically upscale franchises Nintendo has brought out over the years have cabin left in the dark. No games have recent entries on the Wii U. No, the Wii U doesn't count anymore. In the past 5 years, the game series like Pikmin, for example, or any of the Mario spin-off games will not be counted. Or games that have had entries in the last 4 years, 2015 to 2019, and have got games that are coming out next year or and beyond, and have pending titles such as Pikmin and Metroid. So that's basically it. And now let's get on to the franchise. So number one, I think Nintendo needs to bring back franchise Nintendo needs to bring back is Nintendogs. Nintendogs come out on the DS, and it'll be different if Nintendogs was a DS only game. The game sold a huge amount of copies. Um, it also got a sequel. That's the thing. When the 3DS came out, it had a sequel called Nintendogs and Cat plus Cats. I just like to take dogs, Cal in HD, and that's basically it. Nintendogs sold 20 million copies. Nintendo could of course make more Nintendogs games. So and considering that the game still sold 4 million copies on the 3DS and on the much more popular Nintendo Switch, they can make a huge leap in graphics and make people play Nintendogs again. Even make it a free game. People would hate that. Next franchise is F-Zero. Yes, the F-Zero series, okay? Come on, Nintendo. The last F-Zero game was all the way back in 2004. That was literally 15 years ago, Nintendo. You you put Captain Falcon in every Smash game, but no F-Zero games past 2004. And they don't want to make it because they have no ideas for the game. Why don't you make a game like F-Zero DX with new characters and better graphics? See? I just came up with an idea for the game right there. Nintendo was just too lazy to make another F-Zero game. And they probably will never make another F-Zero game ever again because they can't think of any new ideas. Even though they can think of new ideas for new Mario games, new Mario sports games. Oh, you know who is getting new games? Mario getting free. Oh yeah, instead of a new F-Zero game. Oh come on. Moving on to our next franchise. Oh yeah, and also note, franchises that only had one game will not count. So, and that's basically it. The next franchise is Wario Land. Not Wario Wow, because they keep making more Wario Wow games. When are the actual platformer Wario games returning? I know I complained about Mario games before, but the actual platforming Mario games have not appeared since Mario Land Shake It. And Wario platformers, I know Wario is not a character that kids will like, because not every kid will like Wario as a character. And I can see why they don't want to make one, because Wario is creepy to kids. But come on, Nintendo, Wario Land series was pretty great. You banded the series after the get Wii version. And that's basically it. You still continue making WarioWare games. I don't see what's the problem making a Wario Land game anytime soon. The next franchise Nintendo should make another franchise game too is Golden Sun. So Golden Sun, the last game for Golden Sun was released 9 years ago. 9 years ago isn't as rare as is basically even longer than Pikmin 3 to Pikmin 4. Um, Golden Sun is a franchise that has not been seen for a long 9 years, and I think Golden Sun could be a very successful franchise if Nintendo advertises it correctly, and like Xenoblade and Fire Emblem, and makes more people buy it and actually puts Isaac in Smash Brothers. I think Golden Sun should be given another chance, okay, Nintendo? Instead of making 3 Mario games a year, you can give Golden Sun another chance. Next franchise. CP Robo. Next is CP Robo. The last CP Robo game came out was Zip Blast, and we're not gonna count that as that. I don't know when that came out. Oh, it actually came that game actually breaks a 5-year rule. But Nintendo says if CP Robo Zip Blast sells poorly, we won't be getting a CP Robo game. So CP Robo, we need a game like the first one. Yes, the first one. This one, okay? This game never got another game, okay? Which is pretty weird because the game was pretty good actually on my GameCube. It was pretty fun. But Nintendo did not make another game for it. I think it'll be a pretty advertisable game because it has a cute robot. What's not to worry about the game? Maybe they could have re-released it for the Wii instead of making Park Patrol and games where you clean up parks and stuff, and making weird platformers. I think it could be pretty easy to make another CP Robo game. Next franchise is Advance Wars, or always known as Nintendo Wars. These franchises have been going. This franchise has been going on for a long time, all the way back to Famicom Wars, Game Boy Wars, Super Famicom Wars, Game Boy Wars, Advance Wars is the ones that everybody knows, Battalion Wars. Oh wait, no more games past the 2008. This franchise is actually pretty successful, and people like war games now. People like actual tactical war games like Civilization, Supreme Commander, all those other games, and you refuse to make Nintendo Wars, Switch Wars be a grand strategy game, or a Civilization-like game, or a actual strategy game, where you actually put your units around. It is probably just another franchise Nintendo has no ideas for, so they don't want to make another game in the series because of reasons like F-Zero. But you'll make 3 Mario games, of course. Next game. Punch Out. Okay, so we have Smash Brothers. But what about Nintendo's other fighting game? Punch Out's last game was the Wii game. And considering that Will Mac is in Smash Brothers, I think people will just recognize the guy Punch Out. Hey, he's in Smash Brothers. I'm surprised Nintendo has not revived Punch Out because of Smash Brothers. It could really be a pretty popular game. I know they probably replaced it with ARMS, which is much worse, but Punch Out needs to be brought back for more people to play. I know people will be complaining it'll be too similar to a certain ARMS game, but I think Nintendo needs to bring back Punch-Out. Okay, and Punch-Out needs to be brought back. The next franchise... There is one franchise Nintendo has forgotten. Literally forgotten. And that's Star Tropics. So, Star Tropics, based around this guy, and there's two games. Star Tropics came out a long time ago, and there hasn't been a second game. And there likely will be not another game ever in the future. Why am I asking for this? Because I think they just did Star Tropics for Zelda. That's probably the reason why. I think this game has zero chance. Star Tropics 3, zero chance of returning. Ever. There's not even representation in Super Smash Bros. Prismo has more representation in Smash Bros. So what do I think of the chance? Before I go over the last franchise, what do I think has the most chance of returning? Out of all these franchises, the CB Robo has a 34% chance, 35% chance of returning because Zip lasted poorly. F-Zero has a 5% chance because Nintendo has no ideas. Rolling Stone has 20% chance. Kid Icarus has probably the highest chance of 70% chance of returning. Wario platformers have probably around 20% chance of returning. Nintendo Wars has a 45% chance of returning because they stopped making them. And Punch-Out has a 50% chance of returning because Punch-Out could return at any point. And now let's go over Nintendo's last franchise. That I'm honestly shocked Nintendo refuses to even make another entry in the franchise, considering how much demand there is for another entry. Oh yeah, let's go over one more franchise first. Sin and Punishment. I don't think they'll make one, and I don't think bullet hell games don't appeal towards everybody, so I can understand why they're not making another one. But the franchise has a 5% chance of returning. But the last franchise is Earthbound/Mother. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of these games. Okay, I'm not. But the last game we have seen was Earthbound Mother 3. Yes, Ness and Lucas have appeared in every. Ness has appeared in every Smash Brothers game. And Lucas is in every game since Brawl, but Nintendo refuses to make another Mother game. This makes absolutely no sense, as Nintendo is now buddies with the RPG masters themselves, Square Enix, and Nintendo could just get them to make it, okay? It's just that easy, okay? Or make How Rabbit or make oh wait, they're gonna make Pokemon. Or make the Pokemon developers make one instead of making Let's Go entries that nobody wants. But the series has practically been forgotten since Mother 3, and Nintendo knows that people want to play these games because there's constant demand online for Mother 3 to be localized in the West, and the only way to get the game is by literally pirating the game. Yes, literally pirating the game. Yes, that's how it's. The reason why there's not another Earthbound game is because of the creator of Earthbound saying he refuses to make another game. So until the creator of Earthbound either passes away or something like that, I don't think there could be another Earthbound game ever in the future. He also made Monopoly for the Super Famicom. And he has made Earthbound franchise, but I think Nintendo will probably never make a game in this franchise again. But there's at least that 5% hope, like 5% like that other franchise, like F-Zero. There's a difference between Earthbound and F-Zero. F-Zero, Nintendo has absolutely no idea how to make another F-Zero game, even though they have ideas for Mario Tennis on the Switch. I think a new Earthbound game, I think that if they really want to meet into the demands of another Earthbound game coming out, I think they should let someone like people like Square Enix or Atlas make the game, because they know how to make games. And that's all Nintendo franchises Nintendo could make back to make more money and stuff. Because Nintendo can't rely on Mario forever. Mario and Pokemon forever. I know there's Zelda, which has made a huge comeback, and Zelda Wild is the best-selling Zelda game in history. But I think Nintendo has a gold mine of franchises that they're sitting on that could sell pretty well. Let's look at how well Fire Emblem and Xenoblade did, despite them being obscure franchises before. Because Xenoblade is actually a reboot of Xenosaga, a very obscure video game for the PlayStation. Did well in Japan though. But Nintendo has a gold mine of franchise. Instead, they just want to make 5 Mario games a year because then we need because they make money. And they're like Nintendo's like Mr. Krabs. Oh, just remember last year they made like 5 Mario games. Captain Toad. They made Tennis Aces. Mario Party. They made Actually, they didn't really make that many Mario games last year. They made Mario Party. They made that Wario game for the 3DS. They made another 3DS Mario game. Okay, yeah, it's time to love Mario. Okay, Mario games are fun, but come on, Nintendo. You have all these franchises and all you make is Mario games. Okay, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which barely sold anything since the games came out. Because the games were at 10 million and the game only sold 640,000 copies. Absolute proof these games didn't really do as well as Nintendo expected them to sell. So now they're just trying to ruin Pokemon as all. Maybe Earthbound and Goronzora will be good substitutes for Pokemon. And that's basically it about forgotten Nintendo series that they should bring back.